The content in this magazine could contain references of topics and difficult subject matter that may be triggering. Please honor yourself, inner knowing, and proceed with whatever help or guidance you feel is intuitively aligned. Welcome to Sovereign Magazine Podcast. I'm Nicole George, CEO and founder of Sovereign. I'm so happy you are here. We are the magazine podcast and community guiding 5 million women to their sovereign selves. From heart-led conversations to magical meditations, our inspiring guests will show you how they can help you step into your sovereign self. Are you ready to listen to your inner voice and step into your power? Then keep listening to hear all of the intuitive messages meant for you today. Hello, I have the privilege of connecting with Johnna Setfree White today, one of our amazing contributors. She is passionate about working with women, and she is a life coach, entrepreneur, business owner who has spent over 5 years helping these women break free from limiting beliefs and really stepping into their most authentic selves through personal empowerment. She does hiking groups, healing retreats, and sister circles to create that protected space for deep connection and transformation. And she's a firm believer in holistic living and the power of community in order to help you grow. Welcome, Johnna.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicole. I'm grateful to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy that we are here today talking about your approach to life, which is our June full moon theme. And in your article, Breaking Free from the Cycle of People Pleasing, you really go deep into your journey, kind of starting at the beginning of how you were able to break free from the exhausting cycle of people pleasing, only to truly discover who you were. And it all kind of started out when you got burned out in the corporate world and you started to reclaim this new life of happiness through mindfulness, boundary setting, and even finding some joy in what you do. And so I would love for you to share with our listeners who haven't had a chance to read your article yet, but will, of course, kind of about that, what I call the ordinary Tuesday that sparked your transformation. So why don't you give us, paint a little picture about what happened that day for you?
Well, I got burnt out at in that corporate world, just everything going on, just the chaotic way of living, getting up, going to work, that 9 to 5, not having time to um, take time for me, and which I found was so important later on when I began to change that cycle. But just being that person that wanted to break out of that cycle, just had that determination of just feeling hopeless that I would not be able to do it, but I discovered I could. And the way I did it was I just began to take time for myself. I got out of that corporate sector and began to live for me and not everyone else. Just doing that made me feel so much relief from the pressure of being that person to stress out and worry about how I'm making everyone else feel instead of making myself feel great. And by doing that, if I would not have done that, I don't know where I would be today. I would not be living the free, joyful life that I'm living with just doing different practices, just learning, taking that spiritual journey and just learning all of the practices to know how to complete myself and just continue to become that peaceful person from within. And the way you want to do that is it has to be a change to your lifestyle from that chaotic way of living.
Yeah, so many people struggle with the chaotic way of living, right? We get up, we go to work, we deal with all the things at work, we come home, we have to cook dinner, we have to do laundry. If you have children, you have to feed the children, you have to feed the dogs, you have to, take care of yourself. And I think on that ordinary Tuesday, one of the things that I'm noticing you said is that you were really having trouble with boundaries and saying no when it's a no and saying yes when it's a yes. And I think that, especially in our professional setting, that's really challenging. But even in our personal setting, saying yes or no to family members can be challenging. And so, where do you think you began your first steps in learning to say no without guilt and choosing yourself first, like you were mentioning?
When I decided to put my foot down and just become more stern with myself, and I've always grown up and been that soft-sided person where with this big heart and pleasing everyone else and allowing others to kinda, like, run over me, in my personal my family life as well as my work life, and so I just took that day when I started my spiritual journey and just began to meditate, on these different things and just ask, my intuitive spirit just to guide me and lead me on clearing those things up and just becoming that person what I desire to be and not what everyone else pictured me or depicted me to be, and just become my own person and um, that person that was free, And so that was the day that when I realized that and I sat and I meditated on it and didn't allow any other things to come within my mind, my heart, my body, my soul. I realized that, this is it. This is the way I choose to be, and this is the way I'll continue to become. And so here I am today, just that person with a totally different way of living, totally different mindset. And it just takes that courage. It just takes that power to become that person. And so here I am.
Yeah. So you said I had to choose to be and to continue to become. Was that kind of your impetus for writing your amazing book, The Joy of Becoming, an affirmation book? What and when did that idea and the spark come about for you writing that book?
Well, believe it or not, I was taking a bath. And it just came over me that I had been already practicing affirmations and feeling really great about it and secure. And just 21 days, it takes 21 days to form that habit. So I began to do that with that mindset of I'm going to begin to speak affirmations and see what it does, see how it makes me feel. And I realized that it was really, really changing me for the better. And so I was in the bathtub and it just came over me. Write your book. It's time to write your book. It's time for you to teach others about what you've been doing to change, to become better. So, and the title came, The Joy of Becoming. I said, and it resonates so much, like, huh, yeah, that's me. Because I feel this joy in the way that I'm becoming from affirmation. So that's how it came. and And it's powerful. Affirmations are very powerful.
Are you ready to be part of the movement of guiding 5 million women to their sovereign selves? Are you a woman who trusts her inner voice and is stepping into her power? Then subscribe to Sovereign Magazine, podcast, and community, where you can become part of our global community because your journey to empowerment starts here. The steps to your sovereign self is what we call this next part, where we have our wonderful attendees here help you step into your sovereign self in different ways. They're here to show you how you can be more sovereign. And so, if you are interested in kind of becoming, as we're talking about, we are going to have Johnna here walk you through exactly what she does in her book and help you if you are struggling with people pleasing, with boundary setting, and maybe perhaps feeling guilty when you have to say no, and what you can do to really practice who you are, figuring out who you are without all of the constructed ideas of, your family or society telling you who you are, and getting more, closer to your authentic self, purpose, and your inner peace. And so I'm going to hand this over to Johnna, and she's going to actually walk you through an exercise here of how to create some affirmations for yourself, how to tap into this new side of you that you might want to break free of, or actually get closer to and break free of your old self, I should say, so that you can no longer feel stuck. Okay, so take it away, Johnna.
What I'd like you all to do is go ahead and get a pad and a piece of paper, or either with a pen or put it in your notes. I don't know, in your phone, however you would like to do it. And let's go ahead and take time out. I always love to start whatever session I'm doing, if it's coaching, if it's meditating, if it's, writing an affirmation. I start with short breath work, just taking that time out with grounding just to balance out yourself. So I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, breathe in, you hold it, and you release. Then we'll do that again. We'll do it 2 more times. You take that deep breath in, hold, and release. And go one more time and release. Okay, and I feel that when you stop, you take that breath, it gives you that sense of aligning or grounding, balancing, just taking that time because, like I said, with the chaos and everything going on around us all day, every day, we just need that time to stop and take that breath. Okay. So, as you reflect and you write about any process that you're going through, it can be who you want to become, it can be um, becoming joyous, having the happiness, whatever it is. I start with the affirmation. And the affirmation that I'm choosing today is out of my book. And it resonates really well with me. Actually, all of my affirmations in my book, I use them. They're great examples because I use them and I practiced them and I went through it with each affirmation. And the one I want to speak about is I am becoming who I desire to be. And reflecting back on I am becoming who I desire to be is a great one for anyone who chooses to take that time out and become that person who they truly desire to be, and not and it all comes with being that true authentic person, your true authentic self. Okay, so we have the awareness, which is you want to embrace introspection to uncover your true desires and passions. You have the alignment, where you want to explore how aligning your choices with your authentic desire brings a sense of purpose and fulfillment. You want to sit and reflect on all of these moments when you've pursued activities or made decisions in harmony with your true self. Okay, then you want to embrace the challenges as opportunities for growth, which is resilience. And then uh, you have that continuous growth. You're always growing, you're always becoming. That's what that is. It's you're becoming who you truly desire. It's an ongoing process. So you want to reflect on how each step, even the small ones, contribute to your personal development. So you can take that time out and you can reflect on these things. I hope you've been writing it as I'm speaking it. And what gives you that inspiration to take the time out, speak affirmations, and want to become that person of change, of of um, that authentic person, not the person that everybody else thinks of you. That's the inspiration to share your journey with others through your writing, and experiencing the reflections can inspire those around you. As I'm becoming and I'm changing, I'm noticing that it's a mirror. The people that I'm around, the people that I speak to or I coach, it's a reflection. They're doing the same. And it just feels so great. I'm so grateful that I'm in this space because I'm helping others become who they want to become as I'm still becoming.
Yeah, I love that. And I would love to this is actually in Johnna's book. So we're on the page where it says I'm becoming who I desire to be. So this is the affirmation and I want to read a little excerpt from it cuz it's really good. So becoming who you truly desire to be is a transformative journey that propels you towards becoming a bigger and more fulfilled version of yourself. By aligning your actions, beliefs, and aspirations with your authentic desires, you create a path of self discovery and growth. Ultimately, becoming who you truly desire allows you to embrace your uniqueness, tap into your potential, and create a meaningful and authentic life. Your writing can serve as a powerful record of your transformation and a source of motivation as you continue to evolve into your best self. And I think that what I would love to really help people understand here is that in your joy of becoming, as you keep stepping into and keep choosing who you truly want to be, you're going to create ripples. And I think that, one of the things that you talk about in your article is how you began to reconnect with joy. And part of your joy that you rediscovered was your love of painting and your love for creativity and how it helps you heal yourself. And I think that people will begin to realize that in this process, they will rediscover things that they were born with innately that weren't given to them, right?
Yes, absolutely. I had, you mentioned painting. Like, I had no idea. I knew as a child I loved to color, I loved to draw. I didn't really have the confidence in knowing that I could draw. I would draw and tear the paper up and try it again and try it again. And then I just left that passion. It's like, I became grown and it's like, that's not for me. Going back into that childlike meditation one day I did, and it was like I discovered it again. I discovered I love to paint and I love to create. And so, yes, when you take that time out and you realize that a lot of times, whatever you did as a child, that's truly your passion because that's the gift that was given to you.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that so much because I was just writing for one of our upcoming issues, and I wrote about when you're born, you are basically untainted by the world, by you are your most authentic self. And I talk about in one of my editorial reflections about how if you think of a baby, who doesn't love a baby in all of their authenticity? They actually get to cry, they get to express exactly what they want and their desires, and almost everybody is like, "Oh, look at the pretty baby, right? They're so cute." Not very many people would look at a baby in disgust, and they're being their true authentic selves in those moments, right? And so I think that what I would love is for anyone who feels stuck or disconnected or is unable to reconnect to that baby self that they have or those desires, you know, if they're afraid to choose themselves, what would you recommend be the first step that they have if they want to, but they're just kind of unsure of where to begin?
Taking that time and journaling. I also believe these are just the steps that I used. Journaling, writing it out, how you feel, what you would like to do different. So you journal it out. You also can take the time and go into a meditation and just ask, spirit to guide you on these different steps. I do everything intuitively. So I believe that when you settle down and you stop that brain from running 100 miles an hour, you will be spoken to and you will be guided on what to do and what the steps are that you can take in order to go back and visit that childlike experience or um, because it's all inside of us as an individual. We have everything we need. We have that blueprint. We have that healing blueprint right inside of us that we can disconnect from all that chaos and all of the things that you don't want anymore. And you can reconnect with your true, authentic self.
Yes, yes. You said what I was going to say. I was like everything we have is within us, and yes, we have the blueprint within us, and I love that you have shared all of this with us today because for anyone who's looking for a new way to do life, a new approach to life, a new thought process, feeling joy again, being able to say yes when it's a yes and no when it's a no, and really stop those people pleasing tendencies, you definitely want to read Johnna's article. So don't forget to go to the show notes and read it. But also, you can connect with her at any time in our community, community.sovereign-magazine.com. Everything you need to connect with Johnna is in our show notes. So don't worry, you'll be able to find her, and definitely go out and get her affirmation book. It's so beautiful. She gives you space right in there to write everything down. I have my copy right in front of me. She's such a beautiful soul. Do you have any parting words for us before we go, Johnna?
I'm sure. I'm just grateful for being here. I thank you for having me and all of the listeners listening in. Just go and be your true, authentic self and live the best life you have while you're here in this earthly vessel. Thank you.
Yes, yes to all of that. Thank you so much, and look forward to more of Johnna on our upcoming podcasts. So stay tuned and make sure you subscribe. Much love, everyone. Thanks for listening. I'll be back tomorrow with another soul-led entrepreneur here to help you step into your sovereign self. Subscribe to our magazine and podcast and join our global community for all the magic. Details to connect with today's guest or join the movement are in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review. It helps us reach our goal of guiding 5 million women to self-sovereignty.